think we're live.
We're good?
I don't see it yet, but
It could just take a
it
second.
might just take a minute.
I still see it counts out.
There we go.
It got sent to the-
We're on the screen.
Hey!
Hey, okay. All right, welcome to the 2025 Battle Plan meeting. Before we get started, some ground rules. Keep your side conversations to a minimum or take them outside the room. The mic is gonna pick up everything. And we have a lot of important conversations to cover, and I don't wanna hear your conversations. Thank you. The slides will be sent out after the meeting for anyone viewing online that cannot read them, because we know it's a problem.
Also, there is some stuff in here that you might want to have.
Yes.
There's a couple places that I'm going to ask if people want to get like paper copies at the convention or not. So if I don't do that before the end, remind me that I was going to do that.
There will also be a few emails on some of the slides, so we will be sending it out to everyone, regardless if you were here or not. Please save any questions for the end of each slide. We have a lot to get through, and I will lose my place if you start asking me questions in the middle of the slide. Please have pity on me.
No.
I will. I will.
Why didn't we bring a Nerf gun?
Because I would use it. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Hello, the final battle plan for 2025. It's here. Insert your internal screaming. Yay!
2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks.
It's fine. We're all fine. Go ahead. All right, so general rules, information, and expectations. This is what we have for all staff, regardless of your department.
This is you. We don't know who you are, but this is you.
Thursday setup, staff lunchtime and location, 1:30 in Balcon.
Yes.
So if you are here for Thursday to help set up, we will feed you for lunch. For breakfast, I'm sorry, you're on your own.
This is in no way mandatory, but obviously,
Please
free
eat.
food is nice. So, if you would like to, it will be in Volcon. If you don't know where that is, it's called Northwood. It's on the second floor, and it's where Volcon has been, I think, every year since we've been at the Hyatt Regency. So, if you don't know where it is, find someone else. They will know where it is.
Or just follow the scent of food. I don't know.
Yeah.
The staff get together will be 5 p.m. Fireplace lobby.
Yep.
I promise you, you'll find that.
And that will just be a sort of a small retread of some of the things from today, and pretty much just sort of the last minute, like anything we have to update that's going on, or just sort of the basics of like, okay, this is here, this is there, for anybody still wondering about some of the last kind of logistical things.
Is that the staff photo too, or?
Probably, depends on whether Danny wants to make that happen.
Key pickups.
Yeah. So I will have the keys. I think I'm going to do it from the executive boardroom because that's where facilities has always been, and it's also been a place I've been a lot, so I'm comfortable there. So that is up on the 4th floor, basically the first room when you get to the top of the escalator and go in, hang a left, and in fact we may have the doors that are right next to the escalators open to make it even easier to find. So I will have, I'm setting 4 times during Thursday that I will promise to be in there. So if you need to get your keys, I will hang out for about half an hour each of these blocks. So 9 a.m. for those of you who are staying over Wednesday or are very early, 11:30, 2 o'clock right after the lunch, and then 4:30 right before the staff get together. Hopefully that will be sufficient. I know Exhibit Hall needs to do their own thing. I've already talked to Doug about you being able to get the key yourself if you're Alyssa. So yeah, if anybody else has that where they just like really need to be especially early or have some other special key need, let me know.
All right, for individual departments, please speak with your department heads for plans, schedules, all of that. We will not know those plans.
No. Also, I did want to go through, this did pop up, okay. These are all the people who I have set up to receive keys right now. So if you're on this list, expect to get a key ring, and if you're not on this list and think you should be, talk to me. So Bruce from Tech, Caitlin from Volunteers, Christina and/or Josh, whoever wants to grab them for merch, Danny for photo, Pico for not Pico, that one, for video production, Jesse for programming, Jess or Rakia, whoever wants to grab them for cosplay, Alyssa, of course, we just said, John or Allie, whoever's grabbing them for ops. Ops gets all the keys. Aaron for Balcon. Actually, that's a good thing for everybody to know as well. If you ever don't have a key that your department needs, go to Ops. Ops has all the keys.
You're a key master.
Yeah.
Because I can't see all of it, so I know you originally said that we could get a key for our judging on Saturday to get into the side room. Is that one of the keys? 'Cause I only see main stage and panels.
It's still main stage.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just a different part, so your key will work.
Perfect.
Yep. Aaron for Balcon, Robbie from Video Gaming, Becky also gets a couple for programming just for the craft room. Clarissa, well, what do I have? Oh yeah, okay, you get one for St. Croix, which is probably open all the time anyway, but if we ever need to lock it, you'll be able to unlock it. Buttons for guests, Lee for video, Cat for artist alley, DJ for tabletop, and I will have a key ring for a couple of things as well. Does anybody else think that they ought to have keys but is not on this list? Okay.
Where to go? Yep. Okay, next slide. Staff appreciation dinner. Guess what? It's not mac and cheese. Knew that would get you all excited.
Praise Madoka.
Indeed.
So stick around. It'll be Sunday night at 6 p.m. It'll be in Great Lakes on the 4th floor, aka Artist Alley, and food and drinks will be provided. Again, not mac and cheese this year. We promise.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited about the menu we have. I'm not going to go into it because I kind of want it to be a pleasant surprise. But
It's pretty cool.
There is a question in the YouTube chat about keys for the quiet room.
For accessibility.
That would be actually a room key.
Like hotel room.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a hotel room is
Yeah.
where it's at. So we get that when we can check in that room Thursday for sure by 3 p.m. if not earlier. Depends when the room becomes available. So I can get that key and get it to accessibility.
Yeah, so accessibility, find Niketa or possibly Dave.
There's another question. If we check in on Wednesday, will someone be on site?
I'm
I
going to be
will
there.
for
I
sure
know
be on
Alyssa's
site.
going to be there.
I can't promise what time because I have to get food for the green room, but I will be there Wednesday.
Yeah, so a couple people will be hanging around. Hopefully you won't need us desperately, but yes, there will be people.
Okay. Important locations, the charity. Our home base will be in St. Croix next to registration. Buttons note, if you need me specifically, I will probably be in the Mirage room for most of the afternoon/evening because I gotta wrangle the cats. Staffing and accessibility will be in North Star Promenade. For those of you who don't know where that is right in front of, I think it's like what, Volcon?
Yeah.
And then right in front of where video games is, it's that big open empty space. So if you hit video gaming, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Volcon in
Very good.
Northwood, same as last year. Please eat and stay hydrated, I beg of you. First aid, please don't eat this a lot. Water room. And Ops is in Hiawatha room, same as always.
And by the way, absolutely all of these are on the second floor. So
Yes.
kind of a lot of our sort of essential services wind up being on the second floor.
Dave.
So, in my capacity as FOA, did you have a place you wanted me to be?
No, that's really up to you.
Okay, so
I think-
programming,
if you
if I
want
can
to
be
be
in
in,
the
like,
fourth
the
floor executive,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so
Wherever.
we will. Yeah, if you need Dave, who is the FOA, essentially the Detour treasurer. If you need money, Dave will be on the executive boardroom on 4 most of the time. He probably will also be hanging around the front desk a lot on Friday for reservations issues, but
He said no, but I can go both
It comes
ways.
and goes a little,
yeah.
yeah.
So if you don't find him on 4, look for him near the front desk.
I have radio.
And you'll be on Discord, right?
No,
Radio.
not radio.
You'll be on radio. Okay.
I don't have anything to,
Oh.
I keep my computer at home.
You have a phone right there.
Don't make no mistake.
All right. Use radios for Dave.
Yeah. We'll talk later.
Important reminders, Anime Detour does not cover parking.
Yeah.
That would be really expensive. We can't do that, I'm
It
sorry.
would, yes. Someday maybe, but not
If you need
now. Probably not next year either.
If you need a cheaper parking option, because we know while the Hyatt is convenient, it does get spendy, you can use the MCTC ramp. Do not try and charge a parking to the con. I don't want to have conversations with people. And please remember, if you're in staff housing or booked through the staff block, you do need 18 hours to meet those qualifications. Please work your hours.
Yeah.
Andy?
Oh, does that include setup and tear down?
Everything. Work that you've done, you're sitting in that chair right now, that counts. Anything you do for Anime Detour counts.
Okay. Communication. Please make sure you respect how each department would like to be contacted. If you see them not in the Discord column, do not try and talk to them on Discord.
Yeah, so remember, radios is sort of our traditional way, so if somebody says radio, definitely use radio. I know, again, some of those departments can potentially be reached on Discord, but definitely use radio. And then, yeah, they do say prefer Discord. I know, again, some of those departments have radios, and maybe as a fallback, if you're not getting any response on Discord, you can try it, but do try to respect people. This is the big one that I was going to print out. Do people want printed copies at the convention?
Should be at least one in the operations, just
Yeah.
operations knows for sure.
All right,
I have seen people would like
We'll put a
them,
stack
so
out.
yes.
yeah, we'll put a whole stack out, and yeah, people can get them. Also, Artist Alley did email me before this. I just didn't have enough time to update the slide, so they go in the radio column as well.
Can I recommend that you pin this on Discord for those who want quick reference?
Also a good idea. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna list off every department, so be sent out.
Discord can be back up for our salary.
Okay. For Artist Alley?
Yep.
Okay.
Non-urgent, like, yeah,
Okay, our staff dedicated Wi-Fi. This is to be used by departments who do not have a hardline drop in their areas. Please make sure you are limiting your usage to convention use only. I do not want to see you doom scrolling TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, any other social media. If you are using the staff dedicated Wi-Fi, this is for con use. Thank you.
Yes. We do not have.
our social media.
Unless you are social media.
Yeah.
They are the only ones I want to see on it.
We don't have the exact information on this yet, but Tech will have it before the con, and we'll send that out. So be on the lookout for that if you are one of the departments that does need Wi-Fi.
Okay. Interacting with attendees, aka customer service. Please treat attendees with respect, especially when asking them to move out of an area or to make a path. We understand it can be frustrating, you need to get places fasted, but remember, attendees are people. Let's treat them like people.
Okay. Some of them are very annoying teenagers who don't listen, but they pay us to come. So
Yes.
if you like them.
And even if they're being rude, just smile back at them and they'll just go on their way. You get uppity with them, they're gonna get uppity back to you. It's a bad cycle. Just keep smiling and, yeah,
Smile and nod. Smile and nod.
that's it.
And
If an attendee comes up to report they are being harassed by another attendee, please inform us immediately. We don't need these to escalate further than they can. If an attendee is harassing you, please tell ops immediately. While we're saying be respectful, that does not mean you have to take abuse. And please remember that some attendees can be sensitive to loud noises, like yelling. It is best to alert attendees directly around you when possible before you do so. A note to this, if you are one of the town criers, please alert people in your immediate area before you start ringing the cowbell.
But the point of the cowbell is that it can get slightly louder than what the ambient noise already is. That's the idea, not to actually deafen people with it, just to use it to get attention.
Okay. Dress code! I know, we have to talk about fun things. Anime Detour does not require staff to wear Detour branded clothing while on shift. However, please make sure you are dressing appropriately while you are wearing a staff badge. What that means, ensure your clothing is clean with no large holes in it. No offensive wording or images. Do not wear Eagle clothing. I will have a conversation with you. It's not going to be good. Wearing cosplay is dependent on the department. If you are unsure if your cosplay allows you to cosplay while on shift, please discuss that directly with your department head. I know most departments do, but please just make sure you are double checking before you do so.
Cosplay, do you let your department cosplay?
That was my question. Sorry. Don't you sass me. While this is not required, we do recommend you wear comfortable shoes while on shift, especially if your role requires you to walk or be on your feet a lot.
that's not always compatible with cosplay, so it is something to think about.
And please remember that even off shift, you are still wearing a staff badge and still represent the convention. My note, please don't be the reason I have to make new rules.
Yeah, we do not want to have a dress code. We do not want to have a bunch of stuff that makes it not feel like you're at a
I don't
convention
want to
having
have
fun.
to start making you wear the same shirt for all 3 days.
No.
Please don't make us do
No,
that.
no, we're not doing that. But yeah,
I
don't
think
don't.
more rule that they can't do that.
It is currently a rule that you can't do that. Please don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was told that we have staff shirts this year. If you're wearing it while you were on, your assigned
Yeah.
hours, and then you go to a panel, would you want us to try to switch off
No,
that?
no, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
don't have
again-
to switch out. It's really just a just be mindful of what you're wearing. You do represent the convention, so
Try not to be the problem.
don't be the reason I have to make rules. Please remember to take care of yourselves. This is a rule you have to follow.
What about you?
Shut up. Do as I say, not as I do. Follow the 6-2-1 rule. Please get at least 6 hours of sleep per night. Please eat at least 2 meals per day, and I mean what counts as actual meals for you. Snacks are not meals. And at least 1 shower per day. The pool does not count.
I definitely did not follow the meal rule last year. So
You're gonna
yeah.
follow it this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I know we're using words like day and night. Some of you work overnight. Don't get clever.
Future reference, could we add deodorant for posterity?
Yes. Please use deodorant.
Again, we don't want to create a long list of this. Please be an adult. Please be
Yes.
responsible.
Please practice proper hygiene. If you're feeling overwhelmed, please do not hesitate to reach out to your department head or the staff member they have placed in charge for that shift. To that note, department heads, if you are feeling overwhelmed, please do not hesitate to contact the On Point so that we can help you. We cannot help support you if you do not tell us you are feeling overwhelmed. We will not get mad at you. We understand this is a very exhausting weekend. There are going to be times where we all feel stressed out. Please tell someone so we can help support you. I cannot stress this enough.
Yep. And yeah, On Point, care team will have somebody at least for early in the morning to late at night. We're not going to cover the overnight, dear God, because we need to sleep.
We have to
But
enough for you?
what's that?
There's enough of y'all.
Yeah, there are not. So we'll be reachable by Discord if we're not in St. Croix or somewhere else easily findable while we are on point. And I meant to mention when we were on the Discord all page, right now there are only like 5 AtCon channels. There will be more. I wanted to wait until we had the list of what departments wanted them. So that will be changing. Do make sure when you're at the convention and you're using Discord to get somebody's attention to use the AtCon channel. There are also channels below that in a different heading that not a lot of people have used, but there's a couple things in there. But that's not what anybody's going to go watch. They're going to be watching the AtCon. It is not a bad idea if you have a new issue to throw an ad in there so people will definitely notice it. And do not just chat with people in the AtCon channels, please. Keep those clear for actual things that need to get handled. There's still the general, there's still various other, channels open. You can have fun at the convention. But please keep the AtCon channels for situations that need to be resolved.
Okay. ATC announcements, not me.
Of course.
Woo, Christina, yeah!
Oh yay, it deleted my speech. Hello, I am Christina. I am the Anime Twin Cities president. We have monthly board meetings the second Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. They are streamed live on YouTube. Feel free to join us. Last time we passed a whole bunch of new policies to help us do things in a streamlined way. The main thing I want to talk about is we will be having elections up in May. The board terms are 2 years and we will have 3 positions coming open. So if you're interested in running for the board to help run Anime Twin Cities, please shoot us an email at atcboard@animetwincities.org and we will be able, and just let us know that you want to run. and we'll figure it out from there.
And I think one of the big differences is you don't run for a position anymore, you run for the board, and then the board figures out who is what.
Exactly. Once we have everyone elected, then we assign who's going to be president, treasurer, secretary, etc. So everyone's just running for a seat on the board of directors, and then we go from there. Yay!
It's me again.
Was that a little break?
I got to sit for a little bit. Okay. Guest Relations 101. This is expected of all staff when they are interacting with our guests of honor. Okay. God, why did I write so many words? Please treat all guests with respect and professionalism, regardless of what part of the industry they are from, whether they are voice actors, whether they are a dub translator. No matter what part of the industry they're from, they are to be treated with respect. On that same note, any handler that a guest has brought with them will also be treated with the same respect as a guest of honor, especially because a lot of times, guests bring their spouses. So anyone they bring is either someone who is close to them or a representative of an agency that they are with. They will be treated with respect.
I think Buttons can tell you, this is kind of a small world.
Yeah, they talk.
When nasty things happen and bad comm stories happen, word gets around. People will hear about you.
So please be
don't be that story.
Please remember, if you see a guest eating in Balcon or the hotel restaurant or literally anywhere, they are on break. This is not the time to ask them panel questions or ask them for autographs. Just like you, they are working all weekend. They are doing the same customer service. When they are eating, that is their time to not have to deal with people or not have to smile and nod. Staff are not entitled to free or discounted autographs purely because you are staff. Liaisons will report any staffer who outright asks a guest at their table for this. That staffer will have a conversation with me, their department or division head, and staffing department. If guests do offer a discount or a free autograph that is at their own personal discretion, do not go to their table and ask for one purely because you're a staff member. Remember, this is their job, this is how they get paid, this is how a lot of them feed their families and pay their bills. Also, they have guarantees, and I need them to make that. Do not approach a guest outside of their table asking for signatures or photos. The only place our guests of honor will sign items or take selfies is at their tables, because that is when they are also taking payment.
And I just want to interject briefly, this is just kind of designed around our voice actor guests of honor, but most of this also applies to our cosplay guests, to judges, to Fade, even though Fade, does our tech for us half the time, and gets involved in ways most guests do not. But be nice to Fade. This is our DJs. This is everyone that comes to our convention and helps us out. Please make sure, again, these are all small communities. Treat them nicely. Do not ask them for things that you are not entitled to.
Dave, did you have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
I was waiting at the end of that. I have been in a situation before where I've seen a guest in a restaurant being accosted by members when they're off duty. Do you want, I don't know whether
Please
they
report that to me.
report that to guests?
Yes,
Okay,
please
thank you.
report that to me. If you see that other staff members are trying to get a guest to answer questions.
No,
Let's talk about members.
Oh, members? Okay.
Sorry, do we still call them members or now they're attendees?
Attendee usually, but
Attendees.
I would say still tell me, just so we can approach those attendees.
Okay, I assume Leah, since we'll be around, but sometimes they're not, so.
If it is off shift, they may not be around. But if you do see it, also feel free to just kind of step up and be like, hey.
if you can gently resolve the
Yes.
situation yourself.
You can gently step in and just advise those attendees that, hey, the guest of honor is eating, can you please wait until their panel or wait until normal signing hours to ask any questions. But also, yes, please alert me to that.
I like it.
Question from Bruce in the chat, when will guests be on site? I want to work with them to ensure the square terminals work.
Oh God, guests are, I will send you, Bruce, a list of the flight schedule for Thursday, because they are arriving kind of all throughout the day. So I will email you later. Okay, general staff are not allowed in the green room. Only staffers with the green room access badge ribbon will be allowed. Please be,
Most staff aren't gonna know where the
Yes.
green room is, and that's by design.
Yeah. Now, if you think you actually do need to for some reason, talk about it.
yes, please talk to me. Programming is one that will get a ribbon, because I do know they need to be in there sometimes. It's special, Jess. Please be mindful of your conversations with guests. While we encourage you to be friendly and welcoming to our guests, this is not an invitation to get overly personal. and share things that will make them uncomfortable. For example, do not trauma dump on our guests. This has to be an example because it has happened.
Yeah, this is unfortunately one that has happened, it happens regularly.
Yes,
It's-
please don't do it.
I think that this is, what do they call it, parasocial relationships?
Yes.
Where, oh, I love this person, therefore they must love me and care about me and want to hear about intimate details of my life. And I don't want to be too harsh about it, but essentially they don't. They don't necessarily care about you very much. I'm sorry if that's hard to hear. But yeah.
They're working a very customer service type of job, so they're gonna keep smiling and going along with it, which I was gonna throw in there. If it seems like they are trying to leave somewhere, they might have somewhere to get to, but they might be too polite to tell you outright. Be mindful if they are trying to leave a conversation.
And I would say too, just in general, if you realize you're having a conversation with a guest and you're doing 90% of the talking, think that over. Try to take a breath.
If you are in line and see an attendee or other staff member making a guest uncomfortable, or vice versa, please alert me or the guest department staff immediately. We need to know these things because we need to be able to step in. If you would like to pick up some hours at the help desk, please see me after the meeting or email me with the hours you are available. Also on that note, if you are in the guest department and have not joined the secret server, please check your event me inbox. Yes, Rakia?
I actually have a real question. What is the help desk?
The help desk is going to be in the signing room. This is going to have a general frequently asked questions sheet. Basically, you are just going to advise attendees who come in and they go, hey, the guest I want to sign, like have autographs for, their table's empty. When are they coming back? And just those general type of questions. I promise it's really easy and you get to sit the whole time. Okay. Departments. These are things that specific departments are asking of staff to be mindful of when interacting with them.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to put a slide in, but, because I forget I'm facility sometimes. So we do not have any regular facility staff, so that's kind of a problem because there will probably be some facilities requests throughout the weekend. I have already made the request to just blast AC the entire weekend, rather than try to balance it out. I figure if it's a little chilly, a lot of us, have a second layer we can put on, or we're already wearing cosplay. So probably better to be too cold than too hot. But there will still certainly be requests. I will make a Discord channel to receive them. But if you are potentially a person who can take a shift monitoring the channel, this is definitely the kind of thing that you can be doing something else at the same time. You can go to panels.
There's a facilities request channel already.
Yeah. So there is already a channel for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can volunteer to take a number of hours, just checking in on it every once in a while, making sure it's not getting flooded with requests. Like I said, I think you can really be doing other things, probably even be on staff hours, different staff shift, and do this too. But what is really important is I need to know who is willing to do that ahead of time, because there's actually a hotel app for it. We can talk directly to the concierge staff at the hotel, but they don't want to give that to 200 people. They want to give that to half a dozen. So if you are willing to do that, again, it's mostly taking a request from Discord and putting it into the app. It's not very intensive. We just need somebody to do it. So please talk to me about that, or you.
All right, accessibility. I think they wanted to present theirs. Yes. I get to sit again. Yay.
Hello, I don't know if I've been on camera yet. I'm Kai, use they, she. This is Catherine.
I use she, her.
So we are the co-heads for the accessibility department. There's a few things I wanted to go over in terms of just basic disability etiquette. First and foremost, make sure you're letting people have autonomy. Those of us that are attending conventions solo already have coping skills in place. Those of us that are dealing with a carer has a carer that can do those things. Wheelchair etiquette especially. Don't ever walk up and grab someone's wheelchair, their cane, their crutches, anything. If you think someone may be stuck trying to get around a corner, it's okay to say, hey, you look like you're stuck, can I give you a hand? No is always no. If they say yes, or if they say, well, you can say something like, how can I help? But don't just assume that you know what's best for the person. service dogs, the basic rule is no touch, no talk, no eye contact. What that means is don't go up to the dog and go, "You're so cute, but I know I can't pet you." You are distracting the dog from doing their job. You can say to the handler, maintaining eye contact, "Wow, your dog is adorable, I'd love to say hi." Some of us may say, "Yeah, let me introduce you." But biggest thing, they're not pets. It's just like talking to someone's wheelchair, because that's what it is, it's an extension of them. We kind of covered how to offer help, but like I said, autonomy is super important. If you are seeing someone has an accessibility badge and you immediately want to go, "Hey, let me grab you, put you in the priority seat," not always the best option. Because some days, we might not need that priority seat. We might want to leave it for someone else. You want to let people advocate for themselves.
Or maybe you hang out with their friends who don't have the accessibility badge.
Right, they might want to sit with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
Ramps and walkways was something I noticed in previous years we had a serious issue with. I know we've addressed, what?
Well, I was just gonna say, whoever designed the elevator to be right by the main stage and also very narrow should go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just be even if you're not supposed to be on staff, just keep an eye out to make sure it's not super it's just gonna be a pinch point, and we're gonna do the best that we can with what is there because it's set up terribly. It's kind of my.
So you want to kind of try and keep walkways clear to the elevators. If you see people stopping in the middle of a walkway to take pictures or on a ramp to do a skit for TikTok or something like that, please gently ask them to move aside. We really need to make sure that those pathways are clear, because otherwise it becomes a safety issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably the biggest spot is the ramp next to the escalators.
Yes.
That's often the line for XYZ event. Try your the best.
They're planning to put them somewhere else, but just as a reminder,
Just,
don't line people up on ramps.
Yeah.
Last year I had called that out and they said, "There's still room to walk past." And I said, "Say that again, but slower."
Yeah, so.
So lines and priority seating, I know we had reports in previous years that people would need to step out of line to use the restroom, and then we're not allowed back in.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. If someone has to use the restroom, let them go and come back. It's not a big deal. There is going to be priority seating for those with disabilities, but like I said earlier, that's something that people can advocate for. If they need it, they can use it. If they don't need that seat, they're welcome to leave it open for someone else. Do you have anything to add before I went over the procedures?
My PSA also is, if you can, I think it's really cool if you wear a mask. It's not required, of course, but con-crud was a thing before a literal pandemic. These next 2 weeks are very important to make sure you don't get anything and then share it with the entire convention. Yep. So just be extra cautious these next 2 weeks.
Especially if you feel like you're getting sick, please put a mask on.
Yeah. And then, basically these next 2 weeks, be very cautious. Highly recommend taking a COVID test before you go to con, even if you feel fine. Mask if you can. Basically be mindful. And if you feel like you even have a sniffle, please, if you're at con especially, please just wear a mask. Do not risk sharing even just a common cold with several thousand people.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
That's my PSA.
And then Ellen, if you want to come up real quick. So I have had a couple of attendees reach out that have seizure disorders, so I just want to go over something really quick for basic, what happens if you see someone having a seizure.
Oh no, sit down because that's your area.
First of all, please, for the love of God, do not stick anything in their mouth. I don't know where that give them something to bite down on thing came from. Do not do that. If you see someone having a seizure, you don't just say, "Oh my God, someone call 911. You say, "You, go get EMS and come back to me." Assign someone to do it. Otherwise, everyone assumes someone already did. If you can, have someone mark down the start time so they can time what's happening. When they are done, make sure there's nothing around them also. Make sure there's nothing around them that they can bump into. If you can roll a sweatshirt, put it under their head, that's great. Otherwise, just keep the area clear. When the seizing has stopped, you do something called putting them in a recovery position. I'm gonna have my husband demonstrate here. Come here. So, he's on the ground. He has just finished having a seizure. I'm gonna come up to either side and I'm gonna kneel next to him. Take the arm closest to you, put it out, palm up. Take the arm across from them. Roll them with their shoulder. Put this arm under their head. Then you're going to take the leg farthest away from you. You're going to pull the knee up into a 90-degree angle and have them prop it. So they're laying on their side, propped up, and they can't roll either way. This is super, super important to keep the airways clear. You can tip their chin up. If they have like a tie or something on, you can try and loosen it. By this point, it's almost guaranteed REMS will be there. But I have just seen what goes down wrong when people try to help the wrong way. And since I know we have attendees that have come to me and said, hey, I have seizures, I wanted that to be something that was put out there. Allie.
And just to clarify for people, the EMS are the people who are in our first aid room.
Yes.
They are actual EMTs that we bring on site to help out with any issues like this or any other issues our attendees may encounter. So they'll be on the second floor of the walker room. They can also be reached on the radio by anyone who has one.
Yep. And that goes for, too, if anyone is unconscious, if they've had too much to drink, if they have fallen, hit their head, anything like that, that's when you would use a recovery position like that. And again, their arm's gonna be out, this one's gonna be under their head, and this is gonna be a 90-degree angle supporting them. Any questions?
Are there general situations where seizures may be more likely to happen?
There are. There's all kinds of people with different triggers. It can be strobe lights, fast lighting, change, sudden loud noise. People have different things that trigger them. Sometimes it's just internal in their own body. Biggest thing, keep calm. And like I said, make sure you're assigning people. So it's you call EMS and come back so that you know they did it. You, time. You, keep the area clear. Because otherwise everyone assumes that someone's gonna step forward and help. So it's best to just pick someone.
I was just gonna go clarify, I do work in disability services. By keeping the area clear, please stop talkers, because it's
Yes.
not a show. So please try to get people moving, if you can, try to make it private. Like it's not, people are very probably do want to make sure that they have the time that they need to recover,
So in case the camera didn't catch that, by keeping the area clear, part of that is keeping people gawkers back. Especially if you see anyone pulling out their phone to film, absolutely tear them a new one. That's so not okay. And I will back you up on that. Do not stand by that.
This is a situation where you were allowed to say put the phone away,
Yeah.
and we're not going to record somebody in their medical moment.
Absolutely.
And that is something that if the attendee refuses, note their badge name, tell ops, tell the chair team.
Yep.
We are gonna take that seriously.
Yep.
Can you repeat the name of the room where the EMTs are, please?
Walker.
Walker.
It's across from the operations room
It will
on
be on the
second
second
floor.
floor.
Yeah.
It'll have a big sign that says first aid.
Yes, so across from the operations room on the second floor, there's a room that says first aid, and we have our contracted emergency medical services there. So if someone needs to get EMS, that's where you will go.
It's near to registration if you're trying
Yeah,
to
by
imagine the
registration.
area.
Oh, just speaking of triggers, like I know that main stage has a flashing lights
Yep.
warning stuff, so if you're giving, say, a panel and you intend to use flashing lights, it does help to trigger warn.
Yeah, if you're giving a panel and you're planning to have flashing lights or strobing effects, anything like that, please do warn people, because that's a big, big trigger. Anyone else have any questions?
Just a comment, as somebody who's training first aid at school buses, this is not a joking event. Do not stick your fingers in your mouth
Yeah.
because they can sever your finger
Yeah.
because of seizing. Do not do anything. Do not try to, if they look like they're choking and they are having seizing, do what you can to get them to their side because it's most likely their own tongue.
Yeah, so I can
Do
repeat
not
that
stick
again.
anything, including your digits, in
Right.
their mouth.
So I can say that louder. So just to clarify, when I say don't stick anything in their mouth, that includes your fingers, because during a seizure, the muscles in your jaw can clench hard enough to bite someone's fingers off. Don't put your fingers in your mouth. If you think that they are choking while they're seizing, just try and get them in that recovery position. Just turning them on their sides like that can help them get loose whatever they've got stuck, or prevent aspiration, or inhaling saliva, things like that. Anyone else?
Can you connect with tech for main stage, setting up of different accessibility placement areas?
Yeah, I can do that, for sure.
Perfect, thank you.
We good? Anyone else? I think we're good. Okay, so if at any time, you can press it. If at any time, thank you. If at any time, before con, during con, after con, you have any kind of accessibility questions, Catherine and I are absolutely here to answer those. We want this to be a place where everyone can feel comfortable. And one of our big slogans we're pushing this year is that accessibility benefits everyone. If you improve things for those that are struggling the most, things are going to get better for everyone. So this is super important to have a united front to really make sure that we're taking this seriously. All right, and we're good.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, now I gotta talk again.
All right. Exhibit hall. If you see something that you believe is bootleg, please tell exhibit hall staff, do not accuse the vendor or take photos of the booth. Just advise the exhibit hall staff of the booth location and the name, and describe the item. The exhibit hall staffers will make the decision on approaching the vendor. We don't need to be accusatory. Again, like everything else in the convention world, vendors talk.
Yeah.
What you think may be bootleg may not be. So please leave that up to exhibit hall staff. But also tell them, because it might be, who knows?
This is the kind of thing we do want to know about, but
Right.
do not be the hero, do not intervene yourself, this is not your job.
Unless you are specifically asked by a vendor to help them set up, no non-exhibit hall staff can wander the exhibit hall while they are setting up on Thursday. That is a liability issue. If you have a personal relationship with the vendor and they ask you to help them set up their booth, that is fine. But if you are not exhibit hall staff, no vendor has asked you for their help, stay out. Do not allow vendors in exhibit hall before setup hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If they need to get in earlier, that is something they need to have worked out with the exhibit hall head directly. Any questions?
Yes, buttons. How do we know, like, if it's a really good thing that's not a knockoff versus if it is a knockoff? How is that even determined?
Bootlegs are, and this is why we say talk to exhibit hall staff. If you see something that you think might be bootleg, like the paint is a little off, usually you can see like the colors that you would normally see in the character in the anime are just slightly off enough that you're like, sometimes like the eyes will look weird, the quality will look cheap. Knockoffs are meant to be cheap and make them money.
But honestly too, I think this is the kind of thing where
Yeah.
you're not a sleuth. This is not your responsibility.
If you're not in exhibit hall, don't worry about it.
It is much more the kind of thing of, if you see something, if you know a lot about this product and you're
Right.
like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's the knockoff, let exhibit hall know.
Bottom line is, please just alert exhibit hall staff. They're gonna know a lot more. We do our best when it comes to jury to root out any bootlegs, but vendors don't send us a photo of every single product they sell. If they did, it would take us forever to get through those submissions.
So maybe they lie less about bringing a variety and then coming with the same
Well, I can only
stuff.
go through so many applications at once, man.
I mean, it did take us over 40 hours to go through the applications for this year.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a lot. Okay, Artist Alley. Again, kind of similar. Unless you are asked by an artist directly to help them set up, do not enter Artist Alley on Thursday while they're setting up. This is, again, a liability issue. I really don't need artists or vendors accusing a staffer of taking something because they were just wandering around willy-nilly while they were setting up. We're just going to avoid that. Do not allow artists in before setup hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If an artist needs to get in earlier, they need to work that out directly with the Artist Alley department head. So if you see them like just waiting around, they're like, well, I need to get in. They need to have talked to Kat. That's something they have to work out with Kat directly. If you see art that you suspect is stolen or AI or is very inappropriate, please inform Artist Alley staff. Do not take photos of the booth or confront the artist.
Same deal. Don't go looking for it. If you notice something, let staff know.
Again, we do look through these submissions, but sometimes they're going to bring things they did not put in their portfolio. But I feel like our staff does a really good job of weeding out AI art, weeding out the people who age up characters, because that's nasty. I see you, you're gross. We do look through that, but again, sometimes they bring things that are not in their portfolio. Please alert Artist Alley staff, and they will handle it how they deem appropriate. Staffing, housing assignments. We know you've been waiting. They will be sent out tonight/Sunday, depending on when I get home. Yeah, but for sure, by Sunday night, they will be all out. We do have them all assigned. It is just sending the emails. If you signed up to be assigned to people, you have housing, we promise.
Yeah, you'll find out who you're with tomorrow.
Yes, or tonight. Again, it all depends on when I get home. I live an hour away. It's a lot, guys.
And you'll also get confirmation about if you booked your own room and
Yes.
that you're getting compensated. You'll also get that
Yes.
alert to you. So confirm is probably the word to use here.
So please just report any incidents involving staff to the staffing department. They do have an incident report form that will be filled out. This is just so we can keep documentation of what occurs, so that if it is the unfortunate event that we do need to implement some sort of discipline, we have documentation of that.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to do things. My attitude is always, I'm going to trust you guys to be honest and do the right thing, but we are going to take it seriously if we get reports that are not, because that threatens to make us put more rules on things that I really don't want to do. So please don't screw it up for other people.
Where will staffing be located? North Star Promenade.
Yeah. So yeah, that same open area near Volcon and video gaming.
If there isn't somebody who's from staffing that's there, just come talk to the chair team. If you have any other staffing issues, come find us in St. Croix.
Yeah.
Be on call.
Yeah. Words. Ops. Ops did so many words. Pick up your radios on Thursday or communicate with Ops before Thursday. That does not mean Wednesday at midnight.
Still before Thursday?
I'll be in bed, it doesn't count.
You don't sleep.
So if I really want my radios, should I just show up Friday to get them?
Yes.
No.
If you need to pick them up before Friday instead, any radios not picked up Thursday and you have not talked to Ops ahead of time will be reallocated to somebody else. Please return all radio equipment at the same time. This is not a piecemeal on Sunday. So don't just return one radio as you stop needing to use it all at once, people.
Do not tell your staff if you are leading a department, oh, just bring it back when you're done with the shift. No, you collect them, you bring them to us.
Please make sure you only give radios to people who have radio training ribbons. The ribbons can be picked up Thursday after getting badges. Individuals will pick up their own ribbons. So if you have staffers who you needed on radio and they were radio trained, they will need to go pick up the ribbons themselves. This is not we get a bunch and then we just hand them out.
Also, that just reminded me, I don't think we said it specifically, you're getting your staff badges at staffing, not at registration. Kind of an important change, because I don't think we've done it that way before. So yeah, your staff badge will not be at registration yet.
When you say to pick it up at staffing, where's that?
The North Star Promenade.
Yep.
It's going to be next to registration. It just won't be the registration table, so it'll be 50 feet
Around
away.
the corner.
So that's the second open area down the hall near video gaming and Volcon. So that is where staff badges will be.
Please remember your radio etiquette. Do not swear on the radio.
We will literally get fined. It's money.
So much money.
Actually, we won't get fined. You will get fined.
Well, one and then the other, yes.
Please remember to let Ops know when your department is going on and off radio. I need to do this. Also, remember to submit your department hours. I also need to do that.
Yeah, so by department hours, Ops, you're talking about when Ops will expect you to be on and off radio, correct?
Yes. When your department will be available.
So if your department does not use radios at all, you don't need to do this, but if you do use radios at all, even if they're your secondary, please do let Ops know your hours.
Andy.
Will staff also get the regular badges to use when we're, no?
No, we are not doing the double badge this year.
Stopped that this year just because there were a lot of extra badges, and we found the use for the double badge was just, the point wasn't really there for it. You could just have a staff badge, just be responsible with the staff badge.
Yeah, I think to that end too, we kind of talked about this a little bit. Actually, it's going to come up in programming, so I'll wait.
Okay. Anyway, next slide. Ops Part 2. I said there were a lot of words. Ops will have note of which departments do not have radios. So if you did not request radios, you do not get to sneak in to try to get one. Do not become Ops problem on or off shift. Please do not reassign Ops staff. They have areas that they need them to be in. If you have a concern, you can contact Ops. But please do not just grab the nearest Ops staffers and give them a new assignment. You would not like anyone doing that to your department. Please do not do that to Ops.
Only I'm on.
I'm gonna let you fight it out. Stop saying out of that. If you see something, say something. You are also staff and can step in to stop problematic behavior faster, then we can get someone to your location.
Yeah.
This is also where customer service comes in.
Yeah.
Still, by all means, report it to Ops,
Yes.
but intervene to at least get some intervention started before Ops gets there.
And this is a big broad category of you. Like if you are comfortable handling a situation that does not seem above your abilities, go ahead and handle it. if you are worried about it, if you have anxiety about, you know, confronting people, whatever, if you're not comfortable, find somebody on ops and stay.
Sign up for wristband shifts, they're for everybody. And again, these count for your hours.
Yeah.
Tech, if you did not get OSHA training, don't go into main stage during Thursday setup.
Ops has more.
Oh, awesome.
No, I had a question from the YouTube chat
Okay,
about
sorry.
the Thursday badge pickup.
Yes.
They were just asking when that was.
I don't
Like
think
when they'll
we
be
have
For staffing or for registration? For staff and for registration?
staffing. I don't
So-
have the time.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that we have an answer to that. I would presume somewhere before or after the 5 o'clock get together, but yeah, I think we have to establish that still.
Once I have the answer to that, I will send out an email to all staff. Okay. I already said the OSHA thing.
Back to tech,
Don't-
yeah.
Don't go in where they are lifting heavy lights and stuff. It's not for you.
I would yell very loudly at anybody who walks in there and make them leave the room if they mess up when I'm putting my lights up.
There's a lot of expensive equipment, there's a lot of things going on. If you do not attend the OSHA trainings by tech, do not go anywhere inside of main stage.
Yeah, I think as a broad note here as well, we've said, you know, don't go into exhibit hall if you shouldn't. If you don't know you should. Don't go into artist alley. Don't go into main stage. Find Cass. Cass is doing the load in, load out. There will be things that you can be helpful to do for Cass.
Lots of things.
We understand that during setup, it is a really cool time to see what's being done. We get it, we do, but let's be respectful of departments and their space while setup is being done. I said at the end of the slide specs. If you would like to learn tech during Thursday setup, to help, please reach out to Bruce before the con. His email's right there. During the day of con, if there are issues with tech that are not emergencies, use the tech services request on Discord, and please use the following format.
We don't have Discord.
Find somebody who does, John. Find somebody who does.
Make a friend.
You're in operations, you've got all manner of computers that are gonna have Discord on it.
We do not have Discord on our computers to keep our people paying attention. They can
Might
use that
actually
as
want it just because of communication of the department.
But again, tech is radio first, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Specs.
Now, but the thing is, if you want to see what's happening, you are more than welcome to peek through the front door for Maine.
If
No
they are
problem.
open.
If they are open. If they are closed, that means nobody in, nobody looking in.
So for those who may not have caught that on the mic, if the doors to main stage are open, you can just peek your head in. Do not move your whole body into the doors. If the doors are closed, do not open them if you are not tech staff.
Also, if you really want to know what main stage looks like, go into something that's early on Friday or Saturday when it's usually not packed.
Eric.
I would just like to remind everybody, the reason for that is because we run a 400 amp power distro. It takes 0.25 amps to kill you. This is why you do not go into that room when the doors are closed.
It's dangerous. Don't go in there, please. This is, again, also falls back to, please don't be the reason we have to make new rules.
And on that note, along with the doors being shut, don't go behind the curtain if you are not part of tech.
Yes.
We have stuff back there that is not nailed down for general public to be around. Do not go back there if you are not trained or on our staff.
Again.
Please and thank you.
So I think, okay,
400
before we keep
amps.
going into specifics here.
Just
because
in
we're
general,
going
if
down a
you're
rabbit
not in a department, don't go in that department space. You'll get in their way probably.
So just a general note, if you are staff that does not give you license to go wherever you want, there are still restrictions. So please do not invade another department's space. Okay, logistics. Oh yeah, I get to sit.
Hello, everybody. I'm currently the interim head for logistics. Just some quick notes here. First, to the folks who are either signed up on EventNet to help out with logistics or think they're helping out with logistics in some other way, please make sure you are on the schedule that I sent out via EventNet, and please make sure you read the plan that I've sent out on EventNet. If you have not seen those things and you are on EventNet for logistics, please check your inbox. If you are not on EventNet for logistics but still want to help out, please send me an email, cast.roblin@animedetour.com. You can find me on Discord too. You can message me there. But we are still filling out the schedule. Please make sure that you get onto the schedule to help out. If you are not, you may not get all of your hours or all of your staff benefits because of that. Moving on, I'm going to be bouncing between the con and the locker for pretty much all of Thursday and most of Sunday. If you need me for anything quickly, find me on Discord. I check Discord pretty fervently. So if you need anything for some reason, you forgot something or something was forgotten at the locker, please let me know. Related to that, I will be going to the locker after this, so if there's anything you need from the locker, need to put into the locker, I'll be going there right after here. And if you need the address for the locker, you can grab it from me before I leave. Sakura Cooper will be on site to coordinate things going to various places from our staging area. She's who will be on site to kind of figure out where everything is going to go. And just some couple of quick reminders in general. Lift with your legs, not with your back. Please don't hurt yourself. You will end up with a horrible back injury that will follow you for the rest of your life. And don't lift anything that's 50 pounds or heavier by yourself. That is a team lift. Please get 2 people. That is an OSHA regulation. Additionally, at the end of the con, whenever you're starting to pack things back up, please put heavy center things, or heavy, wide things in the middle, and light individual items, or like what's the word? Loose boxes at the top. That way, they're more stable as they head back either to the staging area to be repacked or onto the truck and back to the locker. More than likely, pretty much every pallet's going to end up repacked back to the locker, but if yours makes it all the way to the locker without having to be repacked, that is success.
Yeah. We didn't say it here, but we probably should have. Lakeshore C on Sunday afternoon and evening, once all the panels are done, will be the staging area. So that is where you're going to build your pallets, bring all your stuff down to Lakeshore C, same place it was last year. Essentially, that's the first floor, near the escalators, go all the way down that hallway to the last room on the right.
Lakeshore C. Thanks all. Question? Oh.
Oh, wait, not me again.
For loading in, loading out, is there any like recommended equipment or attire we should bring potentially?
No, but lifting gloves will make your hands better at the end of the day.
Probably don't wear Jinko jeans either. You may be not that big.
Wear comfy clothes you can easily move around and carry things with.
Non-slip shoes with your toes covered.
Steel toes preferably, just in case.
So no high heels, guys.
Just no heels, no flip-flops.
Be comfortable.
Because you said you're loading in and out throughout Sunday, do you want stuff earlier for departments done with it, or what?
Once you're done with it, if you pack it up, even if Lakeshore C isn't open, we'll find a place for it. Ideally, we're going to start taking things out probably just after 1 or 2 p.m. on Sunday. So once you're done, pack it up. It'll make things more efficient. Hopefully, we won't have to be there until 4 a.m. Monday.
Yeah, the last panel in Lakeshore C ends at 3:30, probably half an hour to get, well, maybe a little bit more than that to get it all cleared out of chairs. So probably we're talking about 4:30-ish is when we're going to start packing stuff in there.
Echo?
So, my department room parties, as far as everybody seems to know, we don't seem to have any equipment or anything right now. However, I'm planning to get some things to be for the department, you know, like stuff that, just a bunch of random stuff that it should have, how will I go about getting that stored and packed at the end? Because I've never done that.
Store it, pack it, and bring it to Lakeshore C at the end of the con, and we'll get it back to the locker.
Yeah. The short answer for those who haven't packed a pallet before is have your own containers as much as you can to get your stuff in a reasonable format, and then you stack it up on the pallet that's already going to be set, and then you wrap it all in wrap so it stays together and doesn't fall all over the place.
We're going to have some extra pallets too, just in case somebody's equipment multiplies while we're at con, which happens. So there will be some extra pallets that you'll be able to stack onto if you need an entire pallet. If you just have like a few tubs or something like that, that's fine. We'll probably just pack it with somebody else's stuff.
I'm glad we're talking about this too, because I definitely didn't know anything about this the first year I was department head. So do make sure you have a couple of your staff hanging out on Sunday to help you do this, because it's not a one-person job.
Correct. And logistics can't do everything, so the more you can help us get to Lakeshore C, we can get it onto the truck and get it home.
All right.
Oh, containers that stay shut on their own are preferable over things like bankers boxes, so we
Yeah.
don't have any more Muppet explosions.
And I'm going to find every empty or mostly empty tote inside the locker and bring it as well, probably in the last load, just so we have some extra totes for people need. I can't promise how many there are, but there is one that's full of mugs that say 2007 on them, so that one's probably coming.
You never know when it might be 2007 again.
Bruce wants to know if we have Nicolette for Monday.
Yes, yes we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we
That's
do,
great.
we will, yeah, we, it would be good to be out of there before the evening, but yes, we do have Nicolette into Monday.
Pretend we don't have Monday, just so we can actually get things done, but otherwise, yes, we.
Yeah, that's one of those things, we don't get confirmation of that until 30 days before the event, just because of how hotels work, but yes, we do have confirmation of it now.
Does anybody have any other questions for logistics? Speak now or hold your peace.
Or email me.
Or email Cass. I'm going, no. Okay. Photography. Any requests for coverage, like special events or something in particular that you want photos of, please reach out to photography. And please do it as soon as you know you need something. Please don't wait till the actual event has started, because that's rude. Oh God, more words. Programming, 18 plus wristbands, checking outside of panel rooms is done by volunteers, not necessarily programming staff. And if there is no one outside the 18 plus hallway checking wristbands, it's because no volunteers were available and programming didn't have enough people to handle it. Buttons note, this would be a great time to get more hours in, just saying.
Do you have a sign up anywhere yet for people to do shifts for this?
Specifically, no, but I can put one together pretty quick.
Okay.
So if you are looking for hours, there's so many ways you can get them.
Yeah, they really are.
Programming staff performs rooms counts for each panel and event that occurs within the programming space. During the con, when people walk in with clipboards, they are not trying to join in on fun events or invade anyone's space. They're just trying to do some data collection for future schedules, as well as to make sure panelists and audiences aren't breaking rules. Please let programming staff do their job and don't give them a hard time at the door. My note, if you see attendees giving programming staff a hard time at the door, please step in and make them stop, or get ops.
So yeah, this is where I want to talk a little bit more broadly too. So yeah, there's been some staff-on-staff violence in the past of people overly questioning or overly policing. I know specifically room counters, but I'm sure other department interactions as well. If someone is wearing a staff badge and is telling you that they have a legitimate reason to do something, believe them. If you are wearing a staff badge and you don't have a legitimate reason to be doing something, don't do it. Okay? Don't make this a problem. Don't try to take advantage of things. But again, if someone tells you that they have a job to do, that they're doing their staff work, figure that they know what they're talking about. And if you're worried about it, talk to their department head.
Is there any questions on that before we move on? No? Okay. Financial operations assistant. If there are any payments you know that need to be made, like acts, or in my case, guests that need like checks or cash or whatever because of their contracts, please submit them to Dave by March 23rd at the lovely email so Dave knows. Please don't come up to Dave and surprise him with things you need paid for.
Hey, you brought that $40,000 check I didn't tell you about, right?
Please don't do that.
So yeah, that is next Sunday, so please do get on that. There are a surprising number of departments that do pay somebody, so please do make sure you've connected with Dave and he knows that he needs to pay them.
Because we do need people who need to get paid. We want them to get paid.
I know there's a lot, because I've signed a lot of contracts this year.
I would say sorry, but I'm not. Do you have anything to add, Dave, or is that good?
Also, if you have supplies like from Amazon that you want done, I'll take those up to the last minute, but I can't guarantee delivery. And if you're requesting me to purchase from Amazon, please include a delivery address.
Yeah. And yeah, for the most part, unfortunately, since we don't have, our old Detour space anymore, a lot of things do have to get delivered to your home addresses if you're ordering stuff. I hope we can come up with some better answer to that in the future, but we don't have one right now. I know it's unfortunate. I promise I have a bunch of stuff in my house right now, and I will have more.
So many things in my car.
So yeah, but yeah, again, If you are making small purchases and you don't mind covering them yourselves and getting reimbursed in a little bit, then that is pretty easy. But I understand some things are quite large bills, so do just make sure that you filled out the treasurer request form to get those done and figure out those larger
And please do it as soon as possible. Like Dave said, we can't guarantee shipping because, you know, weather is weird.
Yeah.
Remember, we live in Minnesota. Rules don't apply. Seasons don't matter.
It's a nice fall day out there right now.
Seasons mean nothing here.
Blizzard's over.
Okay. Marketing and social media. They would like photo and video production to please reach out to Mark before the con. This is my addition because social media is hard at con. Be nice to people because we need them. Please be kind when making at con requests for things to be posted. If you know of something that needs to be posted at con ahead of time, please send it so it can be scheduled. It is really hard to try to juggle a bunch of posts at once on top of attendees' questions and comments because they will ask the same 50 questions 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Also, I'm pretty sure everyone on the social media team does other things at con,
So again, we need people on social media. It's hard. Be nice. Please do not respond or react to negative comments. Let social media handle it. We know it's hard. We know there's a few Troys out there. We get it. It sucks, but just let social media handle it.
On that note, the best way to let social media know if you do see something that needs to be dealt with, especially in the official Facebook group, is to use the report to admins rather than report to Facebook. Because if you report it directly to Facebook, it doesn't go to us and it counts as a check against us, but if you report to the admins, we see it and can handle it right away.
So please report to admin, do not report to Facebook. Again, no matter what, let social media handle it. They have their own way of that. They know how to best respond to that. Leave it to them.
Don't handle it yourself. Don't let Zuckerberg handle it. Let Lori handle it.
Cannot stress that enough.
Got a question from the,
In the public Discord, try to stick to answering questions where you are like the head or an authorized person to speak on that matter too. Make sure that you know the answer before you give the answer to someone. If you don't know the answer, just sit back. Someone will be looking into that.
Yeah.
And someone will be posting under the Anime Detour account name with the answer for it when it's
I
found.
know people get very excited about things on the public Discord, but don't let their urgency turn into your urgency.
there's a bit of a general theme to all this stuff, whether it's a setup or whether it's social media, that while we get that everybody wants to be helpful, unless it is your specific department, stay out of it. Let the specific department involved handle it, because there may be some detail to it that you don't know. So notify the department if there's a question, but just let them handle it.
Yeah, just to add on to that, like answering basic questions like, hey, what time does exhibitors open? Or hey, where do I get this person's autograph? Those kind of questions are fine to answer if you know the answer, but don't make me do the extra work of taking down wrong answers.
Yeah.
Please don't make more work for social media.
So I totally forgot about this, but it brings up the question one. We don't have a cosplay repair desk. If people ask, just ask them, tell them to ask in Discord. Someone will help. So that is one thing that anyone can answer on going ask people in Discord. There are multiple repair people in the Discord that are willing to help.
And
So
you
feel
mean
free to
the
send
public
them that way.
the public Discord?
Yeah, the public Discord.
Okay.
Just send them that way if anyone asks you that is a question I know pops up. Just send them to Discord. Discord will help each other.
Okay.
Okay. Volcon. If your department needs food delivered for lunch, dinner, or overnight, please tell Volcon ASAP. Keep in mind, this is for departments who have the inability to leave their space. This is not just because you would like it delivered to you. This is for if you have a legitimate reason, like tech or operations or programming. If it's overnight and Volcon's going to be closed, that is when you say, I need it delivered. If any of your staff have any gluten-free or vegan requirements, again, please tell Volcon ASAP. For general staff, please tell your department head if you have these requirements so they can tell Volcon. This is you.
All right. In-game, we are still looking for more announcements for the town criers to call out. Essentially, they go through roughly every 3 hours. So it's one of those things where it lets us highlight things that it may not be appropriate to call out in the book because there's usually too many call outs. But now we can do it because we can just sort of say, hey, there's a cool thing coming up in a couple hours. Make sure that you're trying to make space for it. I know a few departments have given us some announcements, but we could use more. And then we actually have not had a lot of signups. I was kind of surprised to be the town crier. So again, this only happens 11 times during the convention. I don't need a ton of people, but I do have the schedule with me today. So
You have energy. You want to be loud. This is for you.
it's just about a half an hour that I think it's going to take to go, kind of from the first floor to the 6th floor, all of the basic spaces, and I will give you all the information you need. I will give you the cowbell and the tricorn hat, yeah.
Andy.
Going back to a Volcom, so no mobile comm suite then?
I don't believe it will work as it has.
We're not doing mobile comm suite, instead just radio to us and tell us what you want and we'll deliver it to you. It's probably more sanitary practice.
Okay.
Kia.
Do you have to wear the tricorn hat?
How do they know you're a town crier if you don't have the tricorn hat on? It's the most important part.
That's a JC question. I did not design this.
So you must wear the tricorn hat or a similar headpiece of equal fabulousness. Is it a headpiece?
Is it fabulous?
Is it fabulous?
There you go, your wig cap.
Maybe it'd be slightly powdered though.
It's a bicep hat.
Are we sanitizing the hat to clean, or?
That's probably a good idea.
Person to person is a real good way to spread some shit.
John, did you have a question?
No,
That was the question. Anybody else have questions? Ready to move on? I'm moving on.
All right.
Okay, final notes. We're going to get cheesy because I can. All right. So this year has been a year of tremendous change, and that simply could not happen without all of you. From department head to general staffer, you have all put in so much into this convention to make it an amazing weekend for attendees, and we simply cannot thank you enough. We have seen so many staff rise up to the occasion, and will no doubt continue to see it during the convention weekend. So from myself and the rest of the chair team, thank you so much for all the work you have done so far, and the insane amount of work we know you're going to do over the weekend.
Before you end, do you want to tell them to do attendance?
What?
Oh, yes, sign in if you haven't already signed in, either online or on the QR code for all of us in person here. Well, this,
We're never going to see it again.
give it a minute, wait to see if anybody else has any questions.
Oh, just one general thing quick. Artist Alley has agreed to help charity auction out with collecting ribbons. So if you are handing out ribbons, if you go to the help desk in Artist Alley, there will be baskets. You put your ribbon in the basket and then we auction the ribbons off to help charity on Sunday.
Because the idea is to have one of every ribbon that we possibly can collect.
So you can buy the biggest ribbon collection at charity auction.
Just a little add-on from previously where you were talking about don't go into different spaces for departments. Yeah. If you're not ops staff, don't go behind the desks at ops.
If you are not ops staff, don't go behind the desk at ops. It's not for you.
Again, we know you all want to try and help everything you can. We want to keep it focused just so we don't accidentally get into each other's ways.
I'm sorry, what was that? If you are not ops staff, do not go behind the desk in the ops room.
Essentially, yeah, when you're staff, go where you need to go to do what you need to do, and don't go other places that regular attendees would not go. Not that complicated.
We good? We're good? We're good? We're good!
Yeah. John?
John, why?
So, if you don't have people that you want wandering around and looking artificial, we have some old vests that we're looking to offload.
It's the wrong color for accessibility, don't worry about it.
So like, I don't know, photography or programming, you have people that want to look for.
What color?
They're yellow?
If you have people that wander around for your department and you want them looking official, we have old vests that we can give off.
Volunteers, I think, wants the green ones.
Okay, how many you want?
How many you got?
60, I think?
A lot.
Yeah, so this is all for other stuff. Do we have anything else? Question at large?
Oh, no, sorry, I just remembered room parties, that's another point of pain regarding accessibility. Just try to keep hallways as clear as you can around there.
Around room
Yes,
parties,
but
please
we
don't
know
leave
that-
the hallways
The
clear.
best we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I know it's also the hotel designer being at fault, but let
Yes.
wheelchair users party
Are we still online?
Yeah.
All right, folks, thank you for joining us online.